When's the last time you sat through that? The whole enchilada. Thank you, Kari. Welcome again on what is in our tradition Trinity Sunday. And as we come to this part of our gathering, I invite you as you're moved to take some deeper breaths, to tune into your heartbeat, to let yourself arrive a bit more fully. And we all hope to hear whatever word God has for us today. And I invite you to join me in this prayer as I share the words from Psalm 19. God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable in your sight, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Shape comes where it was all formless. Light is added where there was only darkness. Containers are created for water and air. Space and a place is given for vegetation, for seeds and trees. And then the sun is set on its throne and the moon too. And then the birds and the whales and the cows and the snakes and all that is beneath and above. And then comes us, we human beings. The void starts to shift, to become, the darkness lifts, and life begins to unfold. There are so many layers missed when this text is misused and taken out of context and forced to be some sort of science lesson. In fact, earlier in the year, actually end of last year, there was a couple who came. And the moment they heard me say the Genesis myth, I knew they weren't going to come back because it wasn't the right spot. But there's so much in this if we honor it for what it is, which to me is a wonderful attempt of our ancestors in faith to explain what they couldn't understand. It was their attempt to put some poetry to their experience, trying to share the truth of what can happen, how entire worlds can be born with form and shape and a place. Because as this Genesis story goes, in order to tame the disorder, form is required. A structure is crafted to counter the chaos, and this allows for the construction of the concept of time, seconds and minutes and hours, days, and then the first week. In the beginning, when the divine created, when the energy began to swirl and whirl, it was formless. But do you know what? When I read this story now, I wonder if part of the message for us is this: to move all life forward in love, onward and inward to more complexity and more beauty, to bring out the most incredible possibilities. I wonder if part of the point of this version of the creation story is that in order for it all to evolve and truly come to life, it can't stay formless. In order for it and each part of life to find its fullest manifestation, and in order for all of it to be able to creatively live together, the chaos had to be countered. There needed to be clarity of space and a place that would offer a shared understanding. The formlessness could not and would not be the foundation for the new world. And I wonder if part of the wisdom for us right here and now, in order for us human beings to thrive, in order for us to grow higher and closer to the pulse of our greater love, our lives can't be formless voids either, individually or collectively. What I mean is that what if another part of this story that has a message for us is that we need structure? This is like the mom lecture, right? From last week. We need community. This week, we need structure. What if new worlds and new ways of being simply cannot come into form without a container for them, a shape, a place? As I shared today is Trinity Sunday, and you might remember that this actually isn't in the Bible anywhere. And you might also already know that it isn't three men in one theological tenet, although it was three men who came up with the idea, which I thought that was funny. Maybe they meant for them to be seen as three persons. But Basil of Caesarea, Gregory of Nyssa, and Gregory of Nazianzus generated the idea. And the Trinity sought to capture the connection between all the parts theologically. But I love what some scholars say, that the Trinity is meant to symbolize the flow of energy between the parts. For a while, I kind of let go of the Trinity because I don't know about you, but it sort of seems odd, male, small, anthropomorphized. But now I wonder if it is a most perfect symbol for all of it. A symbol for the fact that this whole creation and for all of us to evolve, we need a form, a way to flow between the parts. It is needed, and we need some structure so that we can live creatively in tension together, separately but still connected. The Trinity symbolizes the flow between staying in relationship while honoring the parts and valuing each piece as equal. How fun that we get to reclaim theology that's been weighed down by the unnecessary baggage of patriarchy, right? Yes. It felt perfect for today to be the day that we present our congregational behavioral covenant more broadly, as to me it is an important example of creating shape and a shared understanding, offering a way to capture the flow between with intention. And the covenant is one way that we counter the chaos, creating intention about how we show up together. Over the pandemic, many congregations, it turns out, found themselves needing to create a covenant like this, including our sister church, UCC Longmont, and also the First Congregational Church of Boulder. Because many parts of the world got meaner. Has anyone felt that? And maybe you've read that, flight attendants and people are really sensing this in the culture. We became less patient, more eager to show our power and privilege. And because in many areas where it feels like anything goes, here we felt called to clarify how we show up for one another. In the words of Gil Rindle, a congregational behavioral covenant shows a path for how to live creatively together despite differences of age, race, culture, opinion, gender, theological, or political position. I really cherish that as part of the culture and commitment of the United Church of Christ to welcome all people, and that is our commitment here too. But one thing we have learned, and it has felt important to clarify, and I sometimes hear this critique of liberal religion, and it isn't true. Welcoming all people doesn't mean welcoming all behaviors. Welcoming all people doesn't mean we welcome in abuse or bullying or hate speech. It doesn't mean we welcome violence or a refusal to speak kindly. I feel even more convicted than I ever have about this. To be a church of extravagant welcome and holy hospitality, we must preserve what is good, which means we need a shape, a form, a container, and a shared understanding to hold our intentions. We need this covenant. In order to live up to who we say we are, in order to honor our separateness and togetherness at the same time. And I see this as a gift, a way to preserve what is precious and good about who we are. The void starts to shift, to become, the darkness lifts, and life begins to unfold. We humans need the form. It helps us to be faithful, to preserve all that is good around us and between us. Thanks be to God for structure. This too is good. Thanks be to God for the gift of us, for the covenant, and for the chance to counter the chaos out there, for the gift of being good together in here. May it be so. Amen. Greetings to you wherever you are watching this. For those of you whom I have yet to meet in person, I'm Reverend Nicola Marsh, pastor here at Community UCC. And we see that people like you are watching our live stream each week. And because of this, we are excited to be embarking upon an experiment. And we need you. If you are engaging with us regularly, finding meaning in what we are about, we would like to extend a special invitation for you to be among the first CUCC digital disciples. For signing up for just $10 a month, you will receive a t-shirt with the new CUCC logo. And we are also exploring the idea of offering other content to those of you who are part of this new and growing area of digital ministry. Sign up to support us in this new way at cuccboulder.org/support by clicking on the yellow donate tab and noting you are a digital disciple in the instructions. Or as always, we welcome an old-fashioned check mailed to us at CUCC, P.O. Box 3646, Boulder, Colorado 80307. Thank you for being and building beloved community with us, and thank you for your gift, whatever it might be.